Okay, we're on the west side of the structure, the south end, by the front porch, and this is where the electric meter and the main service panel are located. Now the service into the home is below grade. This box, in fact both of these cabinets, this box and that cabinet, should be sealed on their sides and their tops to help prevent moisture infiltration from entering the house. And for that matter, this nice big hole for the cable, that should have been sealed as well. We come along here, and this is kind of interesting because the panel, the cabinet, electric load center, call it what you will, it's supposed to have two grounds within 6 feet of each other. And we've got this poor little guy, his days are numbered. Dude. Alright? So we got this stranded copper wire here. And it comes in, it bolts to this grommet as a ground to the electric meter. But the electric meter has a plastic conduit. I see it quite often. The second ground, where are you? It's a stranded copper wire here. And it comes down to this UFER in here. This UFER in here. It comes down to that. And that's how they're getting their double grounding. And UFER's kind of controversial, but it's everywhere. It's over here. Now, in an all-electric home like this, and I'm assuming that it's probably going to be a PEX plumbing system, or not. But if it is PEX, and we don't know yet, but we will find out, that would also double as the electric bonding for the house. Otherwise, electric bonding will be someplace else. We do not know where the electric bonding is because it's not labeled in here. It's not labeled in here. Okay, we have AFCI only in the bedrooms, and lots of mouse dookie. A combustible mouse dookie. That's what's going to happen to the little guy, unfortunately. Lots of mouse dookie. All this needs to be cleaned out. That's just not just nasty, it's also combustible. So there needs to be some housekeeping here. So we have AFCI, as was customary at the time, is only present in the bedrooms. And since this home is occupied, we're only inspecting it for the location. These over here, these are GFCIs. These are AFCIs. Ground fault circuit interrupters. They might trip. They might trip and save your laptop, but they're there to keep you from being shocked. Grounds shocked. AFCIs, arc fault. They're for fires. That might trip and save you from being electrocuted, but they're basically, those are about fires, arcs, and sparks. If this home was built today and it wasn't, these would be combinations, and you'd have these just about everywhere. Just about everywhere. But you don't. You don't. It was only required in the bedrooms when the home was built, and that's where you have them. It's a safety device, so it's going to make the report. See these screws holding the cabinet on? Those are sheetrock screws. Sheetrock screws are good for sheetrock, but they're not really good to secure an electric service panel. Should have been lag bolts. Should have been lag bolts. If this structure were to experience a tornado, for example, this panel, this cabinet, this load center would stand a much better chance of staying in place if it had been properly fastened with lag bolts instead of sheetrock screws. That's just wrong. Okay, moving along. You see these white wires right here? They're hot. And they should be wrapped with black tape. These are white hots. Now, if you do not know that's hot, you do not belong in this cabinet. I get that. But that's the rules. I mean, that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, I didn't make it up. Okay. Coming along here, just like these neutrals grounds we were talking about, you can have two grounds under one screw. Two grounds. But you can't have a neutral doubled. See that neutral right there? It's a neutral and a ground. No, it's not supposed to be doubled. It doesn't say two neutrals. It says it shouldn't be doubled or tripled or whatever. So we've got some double lugged neutrals in here. Now these white wires don't have to be wrapped with black tape because they're neutrals. It identifies them. This one's hot, this is a neutral. A neutral is required not to be double lugged because it carries current. The grounds can be double lugged because they're there for an emergency. That's what they're there for. They're not continuously under load. It's 150 amp service. Now if this it was built this morning, again it wasn't, we'd have protective plastic boots on L1 and L2. We would. But it wasn't built this morning, but you know, again, a safety device, so it makes the report. Makes the report. Then over here, this is your main neutral, and that's why they have the white tape wrapped around that. That's pretty good. Again, if you don't know that's a neutral, you don't belong in this cabinet, but check this out. It's supposed to be wrapped 4 times, not 4 times in a row. It's supposed to be a nice long wrap. A nice long wrap so that you can see that it's there. Now I get it, that's only tape. I get it, that's only tape. I get that. I get it. This wasn't required here. I get it. The plastic covers weren't required when the panel was installed. So what have we got? We still have the debris. We still have the screws. And labeling, that's just labeling. You know. Hopefully any electrician would figure this out, but he shouldn't have to. It should be there. And so we've got debris. We've got screws. We've got white hots. This tape. We've got double lug neutrals. We do not have the protective booties.